Hi everyone, and welcome back to the series where we solve data problems in both SQL and Pandas. This series includes all medium difficulty questions. Today's challenge is to analyze subscription conversion. We have a table user activity with the user ID, activity date, type, and duration. The company offers a 7-day free trial, after which users can subscribe to a paid plan or cancel. We need to write a solution to find users who converted from free trial to paid subscription. And we need to find each user's average daily activity duration during their free trial and paid subscription period. In SQL, we write a select statement to find only users who have both free trial and paid subscription. We group by user ID, and we also display only user IDs. For the moment, we need only users. We count for each user how many rows are there in the table with the activity type free trial. We do it with the case 1 statement. Case 1 activity type is equal to free trial. Then we count as 1 and we end the case 1 statement. If the count is more than 0, we include that user. We also do the same for paid subscription. If the activity type is paid, then we count as 1 and we include that user if we have both free trial and paid subscription. Let's run the select statement to understand which users will be included. We have 3 users, 1, 3, and 4. User 1 has both free trial and paid, which is correct. User 2 has only free trial, then they cancelled. So we do not include it, and it's not included in our select statement. User 3 has both paid and free trial, and user 4 has free trial, paid, and then they cancelled. We include that user because it actually converted to a paid subscription. Now we write another select statement to calculate the average trial duration and the average paid duration. Here we need to display user ID, trial average duration, and paid average duration. We will calculate that in the moment. We select it from a table called user activity, where user ID exists in our subselect statement. We need to group by user ID and also order by user ID in the ascending order. Now let's calculate the average. Of course, we use the average function. For user 1, we have 3 rows with free trial. We need to find the average of these 3 activity durations. We need to use our case 1 statement and say if the activity type is free trial, then calculate with the average function everything from the activity duration column. We need to multiply activity duration column by 1.0 in order to convert the integer to a float, and we end the case 1 statement. Last step we need to do is to cast the average number to 2 decimals. So we use the function cast, and here we say as decimal, and we need 2 digits. For the paid average duration, we will do the same, but instead of free trial activity type, we calculate the average of the paid activity type. Let's run the query. We successfully solved this problem in SQL. Now let's move on to Pandas. First, what we do in Pandas is to identify users who converted. We need the users who have both trial and paid subscription. This is the same what we did in SQL. We take user activity data frame and we group by user ID. We look for activity type column to check all unique values in that column for each user. The list of unique values in the activity type for each user we will save in the dataset called grouped. Now we apply lambda function and we check if both free trial and paid subscription exist in the list of unique activity types for each user. This apply function is our converted mask. We will use it as a condition for checking. And now we gather all converted users. We take the grouped dataset, use the converted mask, and we save the index. Here we grouped by user ID, and we did not use the function reset index, which means that the dataset grouped index is user ID. If we print the converted users, we will have a list of indices, which are the user IDs. Let's also print the grouped dataset. Let's run the code to see what these lines of code do. First, we printed the grouped dataset. As you can see, this is a dataset of all user IDs, and they are unique activity types. Then we checked if the user has free trial and paid subscription. This is our converted users list with users who have both. So we have user ID 1 with free trial and paid subscription, user ID 3 and 4. Now let's continue. Now we need a data frame that includes all these user IDs. So we take the user activity data frame and we filter for user ID, which is in converted users. Here we have only a list of IDs, and here we have a data frame of all IDs that appear in the converted users. Now we calculate the averages. First we calculate trial average. If the activity type is equal to free trial, we group by user ID. We look at the activity duration column and calculate the mean. The same we will do for paid average. But instead of free trial, we look at paid. Now we create the final data frame. The name of the header is trial average duration. The values are stored in trial average. For paid average duration, values are stored in paid average. And now we use reset index so that our user ID is not an index anymore, but a separate column, because we need to display user ID as a column as well. Last step we have to do is to round the average values to 2 decimals. First we do that for trial average duration. And now we do the same for paid average duration. And we are ready to return the result. Let's run the code. We successfully solved this problem in Python Pandas. Which syntax did you prefer for this specific problem? Using subselect and average functions in SQL, or applying a lambda function and creating a Pandas data frame in Pandas? Let me know in the comments.